Hello and welcome to the next video of my LPL Spring 2023 preview series. We're going to cover ThunderTalk. Let me move this mic. Sorry for my, hopefully didn't bother you too much. Have my hand on the microphone. ThunderTalk are definitely my guilty pleasure. I've said it before in my LPL tier list. I've said it throughout summer. Analytically, they were a team that was much better than their record indicated. They've made some moves and upgraded. Going into this year, I have them at the good tier, which some people disagree with, but I am pretty transparent that I do think that this team is my guilty pleasure. So last year it went 10-22. Summer a lot better than spring. Their LDL team went 20-20 outright. Coach is No Name. No Name is 27, 52, and 7 over their career, being credited as a coach on Leaguepedia at a major region level. So those numbers aren't great. 27, 52, and 7 is pretty bad. So the moves that ThunderTalk made, they swapped out bot lane pretty much. Puff is unemployed. Kepler is unemployed. Southwind at support has went to Rare Atom. And they were replaced by Wanfang from Weibo, who I think's a top 580 carry in the world. I'm a big Wanfang enjoyer. And then they brought in Jin... Excuse me. They brought in Jin Liu to play support, formerly known as Lucas from IG, who lost his job to a role-swapped 80 carry. Going into this year, the team... trying to pound out a ton of videos because the LPL is starting the 14th. I thought it was starting the 16th. It's completely forced my hand. So, Hoya's the only player not 21 years old on this team. Hoya is the worst player on this team. Jin Liu is not great, but Hoya, his numbers were bad last year. He lost his job with Damwon Kia, and these are not great numbers. So, 22 years old, 2.8 KDA, 7.3. CS per minute. That is like the worst I've seen. 7.3 is awful. 58 KP, 452 damage per minute, 22.8 damage share, 20.4 gold share, 6 champions, 28 games, Nar, Gragas, and Sejuani. So Hoya leaving a lot on the table. He split with Zhao Zhang last year. Zhao Zhang returned to EDG. This is a glaring hole. I have said, and I think I've said in my tier list video, that Zoom should be looking at this team. Zoom's a free agent. Zoom left a lot on the table in Ultra Prime, but he is a lot better than Hoya. And he's older, so he could be the older player on this team. And also, it's a pretty good team. Zhao 7 is the backup for KDA, 804 CS per minute, 57 KP. Honestly, this player, if they're decent in the beginning of spring in the LDL, bring them up in place of Hoya. 513 damage per minute, 22-1 gold share, 10 champions, 32 games. Nar, Sejuani, and Gwen were the 3 most played champions. Zhu Zhuzi is the backup. He played, I think, 1 game with the team last year, so... well, he isn't the backup. He's the 3rd stringer in the LDL. Jungle, Bechuan. Bechuan's one of my favorite junglers. I'm a really big fan of Bechuan. I thought FPX wronged him, and he went to ThunderTalk and did exceptional. At 21 years old, 3.3 KDA, 5.5 CS per minute, 68.9 KP. Those numbers are pretty average, but I thought, you know, like I've said before, numbers are what they are. I really usually lean on stats, but there are exceptions to the rule, good or bad. Bechuan to the good. 290 damage per minute, 15-1 damage share, 18-1 gold share, 8 champions, 41 games. Viego, Poppy, and Wukong being a lot of the games played. Everything else he only played twice, which would indicate that he played 3 champions a total of 31 times. PZX is the backup. PZX also did very well at the LDL level, earning, honestly, in my opinion, a shot at, if they can do well in spring, go to an LPL team, maybe in summer this year or in 2024. They surpassed Frigid, put up a 296 KDA, 567 CS per minute, 73.4 KP, farming at a good rate in a dog meta, and facilitating. 353 damage per minute, 19-2 gold share, 9 champions in 19 games. Xin Zhao and Viego being his most played. Frigid, like I said, lost the job. Frigid played for them in spring in with the big club. When Chieftain had visa issues, they used Frigid. Chieftain now is in Latin America, so that kind of shows where Chieftain has went in terms of level of play. Frigid put up a 304 KDA, 466 CS per minute, 64.9 KP at the LDL level. Those are awful numbers. 337 damage per minute, 17-4 gold share, 6 champions across 15 games. Xin Zhao, Viego, Wukong, so it's clear as day the coaching staff liked Xin Zhao a lot because both junglers at the LDL level, that was their most played champion. In mid lane, you have UCal. Some people are saying UCal is washed. It's hard to really say a player at 21 years old is washed. I think that's weird. I know they've played what feels like forever, but they're 21 years old. 4-4 KDA, 8-9 CS per minute, 68-1 KP. Ahead in the majority of his matchups. One of the better laners in the LPL. 514 damage per minute, 26.6 damage share, 22.9 gold share, 13 champions, 41 games. Silas, Ari, Azir. I think UCal is good. I don't think he's great. I think he's good. I think Bejuan could be great. So that jungle mid duo is pretty nasty if it can take the next step. Behind UCal's Captain. At 23 years old, Captain had a 545 KDA, 874 CS per minute, 71.7 KP. They are better than the LDL level, but I'm sure if I actually look deeper into Captain's history, he's probably had opportunities at the LPL level and struggled, so people don't want to give him a second chance. And at 23 years old, here in the LDL, there's not a long leash there. 680 damage per minute, 22.9 gold share, 11 champions, 34 games. Oriana, Lissandra, and Ari, his most played. That's an interesting champion pool, Oriana and Lissandra. We don't see a lot of people playing a lot of Oriana in their 3 most played champions in spring. Sky played for ThunderTalk in spring when Captain was covering for UCal's visa with the big club. At 20 years old, Sky had a 3.2 KDA, 817 CS per minute, 65.7 KP in the LDL. Makes sense why he didn't play in summer. These numbers don't stack up. 369 damage per minute, so over 300 damage per minute less than Captain. 21-2 gold share, 8 champions, 19 games. Lissandra, Cassiopeia, and Rise. He played those 3 champions 3 times. Cassiopeia, that is definitely a one-off. I don't think we're going to see another person play a lot of Cassiopeia in these previews. Bot lane, Wanfeng. I'm a big Wanfeng enjoyer. Not going to lie, 21 years old. He's nasty in bot lane, 5.7 KDA, 9.5 CS per minute, 69.8 KP. Didn't deal a lot of damage with Weibo, 529 damage per minute, resulting in a 22.9 damage share. That is a bit concerning. Not a carry with Weibo like we would anticipate. 24-2 gold share, 11 champions, 41 games. Aphelios, Callista, Sivir. A very, very good player. Alongside him was An, and honestly, An was a bit of an inter. So we'll see how he does it with this team. Jinlu is, I don't think Jinlu's an inter. I just think he's not very good. But we'll get to that. Bat is the backup at 20 years old. Had a 507 KDA, 932 CS per minute, 64.8 KP in LDL. 586 damage per minute, 24-2 gold share, 9 champions, 34 games. Zeri, Callista, Aphelios, pretty standard numbers. Laning, average, so an average LDL. Bot laner, not going to threaten Wanfeng. Really, the only player that's probably going to threaten somebody on this list is Zhao 7, and that's not because Zhao 7's great, that's because Hoi is so bad. Frankly, PZX could possibly push for an LPL spot in 2024 if they continue putting up numbers like they did last year. Chips is another bot laner they have. They played a handful of games with ThunderTalk last year. At support, Jinlu. So Jinlu, at 21 years old, had a 2-1 KDA, 64 KP, 6 champions in 15 games. Tom Kench, Nautilus, Renata with IG. Lost his job to Wink, who was a role-swapped AD carry. I am not a big Jinlu fan. I'm not going to lie. When I say ThunderTalk is a good team and in that second tier of teams in the LPL, that's with the assumption that Jinlu eventually gets moved out for Yao Yao. Yao Yao, at 21 years old, had a 3.8 KDA, 70.2 KP, and played 30 games last year with ThunderTalk, playing 10 champions, Nautilus, Braum, Leona, a lot of Engage. In an Enchanter meta, to put up decent numbers like this is pretty good. Probably not an Enchanter player, which is going to be a problem because Enchanters seem to still be meta. And maybe that's why Jinlu's getting a chance. But honestly, I'd rather force Yao Yao to play Enchanters than have Jinlu play Enchanters poorly. So, I don't think I can emphasize enough that that support position is really holding back this team. Holding back Wanfeng is not a good idea. Support LDL level MMY, 318 KDA, 69.1 KP, 9 champions, 37 games. Nautilus, Rakan, Leona, these are from spring, hence the Engage meta. Unlike Yao Yao that played Engage in summer out of meta, MMY played Engage at in spring, which was a good time to do it. So this team is definitely a team I'm higher than most on. I'm sure some people would have them at the OMG level, which is in the average to good category now that OMG have signed PP God. But I'm hopeful for this team, I guess, which is a weird feeling. So far I'm 0 for 2. OMG failed me last spring and FPX failed me in summer. So we'll see what happens with this one. So comment down below with your opinions on ThunderTalk. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube member. And thank you for watching.